Super shot, super innings, and great entertainment. A cracking shot. He certainly gave that the full treatment. That was a ripper.
Centurion Park, 40 kilometres north of Johannesburg on the outskirts of Pretoria. A sleepy place which comes alive when the cricketers visit town. England's visit is more of a salvage operation after the self-destruction which cost them the series in Cape Town. South Africa, well, they want their machine to roll on, relentlessly and uncompromising, and as ever, highly effective. Well, South Africa have taken the series by 2-0 and deservedly so. Nasser Hussain knows, though, that England have pride to play for here, and he's very interested in the performance of one or two players regarding next summer in England. Hello to you. Welcome to the highlights of the first day's play from Centurion Park. It may be a sleepy place, Centurion, but it's also a very rainy place. I'm afraid to say that play was delayed for 3.5 hours. Didn't get going until 2 o'clock. Nasser Hussain won the toss. He did choose to field first. That was no great surprise. The conditions were ideal for the fast bowlers. These are the teams announced by the captains. First England, and it's Phil Tufnell who misses out because Alan Mullally comes into the team. He's strengthened there with 4 specialist fast bowlers, and you'll notice that Andrew Flintoff, because he's injured, there's an opportunity at number 7 in the order for Darren Maddy. The South Africans have one bad blow, 2 bad blows really. Jonty Rhodes, he can't play. There's a first cap for Peter Stradham, but most particularly, Alan Donald woke up this morning with gout, would you believe? He's had it once before in England in 1994, a very bad problem with his toe. He's in terrible pain, unable to play, just 10 wickets away from that magical 300 mark, and we see him here in the dressing room early in the day. He met the sports minister, Mr. Balfour. So a great disappointment for Alan Donald that he won't be out on the field at Centurion. Time now for the action. A cold old day, I'm afraid, and it's Gary Kirsten and Herschel Gibbs at the wicket against England's new ball bowlers.
Nicked it out, caught second slip. Kirsten goes for naught in the first over. Gough strikes.
Almost the very first occasion that Gough manages to get it in the right spot. Kirsten playing towards mid-on. Ball just perhaps moving away off the seam as it pitched round about middle and leg. Excellent delivery from Gough, and Kirsten, he's gone for no score, and the score is 1 for 1. See, Kirsten perhaps could have been playing a little straighter, playing towards mid-on rather than straight down the pitch, but a very dangerous delivery for a left-hander going across you early on in your innings.
The dreaded duck then. That's an awful thing, isn't it? Early breakthrough for England. South Africa 1 for 1. No ball called, and that'll be 4 for Cullis. No third man at this stage. Easy runs. Nicely played though.
Perhaps a thick is outside edge, but he gets nicely back and across and well onto his toe, so he's able to play the ball down into the vacant gully area. Close, but just over the or on the line, which is good enough for a no ball. Cullis, interestingly enough, committed to a attacking back foot shot.
That's the right area.
Perfect line and length. Cullis forced on the back foot, squaring up a fraction. The seam positioning of that delivery quite perfect. Just angling in and then holding its line, straightening fractionally.
It's just beaten the outside edge, but didn't carry to Alex Stewart. Interestingly enough, was it a slower ball? No. Wow. That looked like it was going to go down leg side for a while and jagged back from leg to off. Tickled his ribs up.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's really got big on Herschel Gibbs, and he's got nowhere to go. He's trying to let it bypass him round about the rib area, and it's really got up.
Oh, well bowled. And I wonder if we can just give Gibbs the benefit of the doubt there.
I think we can. Exceptionally well played. He may have been committed to the shot early on, but when he sees it move off the pitch, he just plays inside the line, brings the bat inside the line, a la Jack Russell style.
So I wonder how much more cricket we're going to get today. It's very overcast all round. There's small breaks in the clouds, but there's very little wind to blow any rain through. Or bowled. Missed it. Batsman's happy. 6 for 1. Beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled.
Almost too good. You have to get your eye in before you can nick these ones.
He gets some runs here. That'll take him through to 1,001. Oh, maybe no. And the end of the over, 10 for 1. Just got a bat down on that in time. It's flown down to fine leg for 1. Mullally the fielder. Beautiful throw.
Conscious of trying to leave as much as he can outside the off stump, surprised to a certain extent by one which comes back at him off the seam.
And here's Carrick on the Hen Observer end. Oh, it's flown away. Good stop. Hussain diving to his right in the gully. Best of the England fielders.
Marvellous to see how these top-class batsmen use their feet differently when the pitch is playing up as it is now. Jacques Kallis getting back and across, trying to get behind the line as much as he can to show the full face of the bat to the ball, and that's what he did perfectly there.
Oh! Well, it really is going to be a trial there for the batsman.
In a way, this is playing up Jacques Kallis's alley, because although he almost fended it away to begin with, he was able to drop his hands because they're too short.
Oh, beautiful delivery, and again Kallis, you know, he might look as though he was beaten there, but he did very well indeed to keep it out.
Yes, here he's playing very late. It opened him up. This was the difficulty for him. It was starting on leg stump, so he opened up as though to play it to leg side, and then suddenly it straightened off the seam, so he had to adjust. Beautifully done. The hands perfect, bottom hand almost coming off the bat, and he kept it down.
Again, this time he does beat Hussain. It's running down towards the boundary. Vaughan gives chase. Oh, that's brilliant. brilliantly done by Michael Vaughan. I'll have a look at that, but I think he probably saved a run.
Yes, Michael Vaughan isn't the quickest over the outfield, takes rather big strides, but here it was superb.
Oh, it's going to be caught at slip, and he's out. That is a brilliant piece of bowling by Caddick. Gibbs couldn't get out the way, and caught, and South Africa lose a second wicket in the drizzle and in the mist here at Centurion. It's 15 for 2.
It's rather a shame because he did virtually everything right. This ball coming back at him, look at that. Tried to get out of the way, take the hands away, but just left the glove in the wrong place, and it looped up. Darrell Hare making the correct decision, and Adams in business.
Looked as though it hit the handle of the bat, just followed him back, and away goes Gibbs for 3. South Africa 15 for 2. Oh.
Now that's the length. That is extremely dangerous. The batsman drawn into the stroke, but just being beaten, and there's the shake of the head. He's not happy, and I don't blame him. Look at that, pitched on off, and even you could say a fraction too short, because it, even millimeters further up would have probably got the outside edge of that bat.
Yeah, I'll be quite happy if I played and missed it there, to tell you. He's hit that in the air down to deep backward square leg Mullally. Lovely throw. Oh, beautifully bowled. Left arm over across the right hander, drawing him into the shot, but the ball just kept going past the outside edge.
And Jacques Kallis here, his feet didn't move at all. That was his problem. He fended it away with feet almost together, and both pretty well behind the crease. Now the art here is to get back, or if it's up to you enough, get forward. Watch the footwork here. Then he just brings the feet together just behind the crease.
Oh, and very, very late.
Once again on the back foot when he should have been coming forward. Very, very difficult to force yourself forward when the ball is doing so much.
Oh, my word. Cullinan is going to get the most fortunate 4 runs. Chris Silverwood could grin, but his loosener very nearly brought the downfall of Darrell Cullinan.
Well, suddenly he's a lot quicker than any of the other bowlers. Darrell Cullinan is very late on this. He did try a rather expansive shot, but we know that Darrell Cullinan won't want to be dominated for too long. He thought this was a loosener. We saw this earlier in his innings in Cape Town, where the first delivery of a spell, he almost always had a go at it, thinking that it would be the loosener and he might have a free hit.
Quite a lot of brave souls that have been here for a long time, hoping that the cricket would start. And so they deserve as much play as possible, and they've been in high spirits. Oh, he might be out, he might be out. Oh, drops just out of reach of the man running from mid-on. He went for the pull shot there, not that wise on this track, because you never can be sure how much it might get up, and that one he spliced over the bowler's head.
I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't the toe of the bat, really, almost playing the shot too soon.
I think you might be right. Is he caught down the leg side? He turns away, umpire Darrell Hare looks down the pitch and then folds his arms and decides that he's not out. Well, we know Jacques Kallis has been out in this series in that way down the leg side. It certainly hit something because there was a noise. Will the slow-mo replays tell us what it hit?
A noise and a deflection, and Jacques Kallis looked a little guilty as he wandered about in the crease there, withdrawing his hand off the bat, which is sometimes a telltale sign.
Again, it's so difficult for the umpire, these sort of decisions. Is it the glove? I think it might well have been the glove. Oh, that is perilously close to rolling down onto the stumps. 29 for 2 at the end of the over.
Silverwood would count himself unlucky, and the batsman in these circumstances, had he been dismissed, would have said the same thing.
Comes down off the face of the bat, and fortunately it's on the inside of the foot, and that blocked it from rolling onto the stumps. It's a nice looking shot. Big gap in front of the wicket, and he finds it nicely. He gets 2. Slow outfield, it won't get to the boundary, but a very comfortable 3. Mullally having to run from mid-on to deep mid-off to fetch it. Now it's short, and this one he really does get hold of. Beautiful shot there by Jacques Kallis, and it's a handsome 6.
Deciding that attack is probably the best form of defence on a wicket, which is really favouring the bowlers, and he's quickly into position. Times it very well. It's quite a long boundary out there, square of the wicket at Supersport Park. Fortune often favours the brave. Rain slightly heavier.
This time he forces it away off the back foot, backward a square, and that's 4 more. This is good play by Jacques Kallis.
Lovely positive shot. Not the classic square cut bat, vertical rather than horizontal. But a full flow of the bat.
Well, that rain came after an hour and a quarter of play, a funny old session of play too. England didn't bowl very well in good conditions. Kirsten and Gibbs, the men that went, to both Gough and Caddick. Kallis and Cullinan are key players. If England get rid of them, they still have a chance of getting into the match big time. 43 for 2. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll see how things went when the players came back onto the field. Welcome back to Centurion Park. South Africa 43 for 2, having been put into bat by Nasser Hussain on a cold and indifferent day. Rain stopped play for just 6 overs. The players got back onto the field, and at the crease for South Africa, Jacques Kallis and Darrell Cullinan.
It's in the right area, and Cullinan gets a run in an area that he wasn't looking for. In fact, he gets 2. That's good running from the South Africans. That might well be... No, it won't be 4, I don't think. Timing wasn't quite there. Good shot from Cullinan. And it is 4. Timed it well enough.
Yes, right at the toe end of the bat, but still hard enough for it to reach the boundary, and the South African 50 comes up with that stroke.
Bowled him out! Full delivery, first up from Caddick. Kallis caught in the crease, and the middle stump goes back. South Africa 50 for 3.
Superb delivery. We commented a little earlier that Jacques Kallis tended to play from the crease today, and this was a superb delivery. Signs that the Englishmen have been discussing this in the break. Look at that. Beautiful ball, pitched, straightened, hit the middle stump, and Jacques Kallis goes for 25. So Jacques Kallis is 25, and South Africa 50 for 3 now.
It's more of a request than an actual appeal. He runs for Cullinan, a couple of them. Wide open spaces there once it gets past the forward short leg. And that's another little irritation to the bowler, because it wasn't even an attacking stroke. Too much.
Excellent ball, beating him on the inside. Nowadays there's a pad there. It still hurts because that pad is very thin.
The old-fashioned 8 ball over. Silly point in position. And he's out for naught. Cronje's run of luck doesn't turn. Maddie the catcher at short leg. And what a huge disappointment for the South African captain.
As he came in and showed that he was trying to get onto the front foot, did so once again here. This time the ball was properly pitched. It came back at him, hit the inside edge, and Darren Maddie shows delight. HANSIE CRONJE goes for naught, and South Africa are 55 for 4.
Well, we certainly wish him luck in his debut. Missed it. Little tentative too, but that's fair enough. Nerves rattling around in his tummy, along with a few butterflies.
Well, of course, I think everybody will remember their first test innings, and anything can happen. But just don't expect Peter Strydom to have the flashing strokes of a Herschel Gibbs or the incredible technique of a Jacques Kallis. He isn't that. He's an extremely good worker, and he puts away the bad ball wonderfully well.
Now that was run out by about 3 feet, I would guess. Had Maddie hit. Brilliant fielding from the England short leg.
Involuntarily falling forward here. You can see he came forward and then he thought it had beaten Maddie. Maddie anticipated it well, and not even in the frame at the end was Peter Strydom.
That was I'm off the mark here. And I'm running. Line this time, but it didn't straighten enough, and Cullinan's got it away for at least 2. Strydom's running very quickly and will make it into 3. That's good running. He's got that away. First runs in Test cricket. And there'll be at least 3 of them. Maybe 4. Rolled up against the rope.
Well, I'm sure he's breathing a huge sigh of relief, and Daryl Cullinan walking up and having a quiet word with him at the same time. A nice touch, but this is one of his strengths. He works it well on the leg side. You see his balance as he does so.
Bottom edge, Cullinan will get 4. Took a while, but it got there.
Nicely done by Daryl Cullinan. Quite timed, and Hussain is the man who will give chase. That's 3 to Cullinan. Well run. I don't think that'll bother Gough, though, David, do you?
No, I don't think so. Umpire Rudy Coetsen at square leg is signalling 1 short. So someone guilty of not looking, probably Cullinan, trying to watch the fielder as he picks up and seeing that Vaughan, I think it was, who chased that one. A little bit slow in picking up and turning.
It's the most lovely stroke. Great use of the wrist. It's a stroke you'd see from, say, an Indian or Pakistan player. Mohammad Azharuddin plays that stroke, doesn't he? The ball, Gough coming a little wider of the crease, and the ball's straight. It would have hit the stumps. Excellent stroke. Simple, easy as you like.
I can't help thinking that Hussain must be feeling very angry at this stage. They bowled one delivery short outside the off stump, which Stratham played a very nervous shot at, tentative shot. And after that, all they've done is bowl at his legs, and he's picked up 12 already. Very nicely timed. That's his bread and butter shot, though. You've got to stay away from that area.
4 more. Dear, dear. It's there to hit. And Stratham won't be too nervous anymore.
Second 4 in a row. Short outside the off stump, but that's actually quite a good shot because he hasn't worried too much about keeping it down. He's just given it the full treatment. Hit it hard enough. You hit it hard enough, as Graham Pollock says, the ball finds the gap on its own.
Oh, Darren Gough did well. He isn't, you wouldn't call Darren Gough a natural cover fielder. There's a lot of guts in this cricketer. Runs. 4 of them. Leg byes. But that won't worry HANSIE CRONJE in the South African dressing room. On this pitch, anything you can eke out of it is handy.
But again, both sides of the wicket, and the runs are flowing.
Good stroke. Just a little bunt down the ground. And it'll earn him 3. More of that, please, Governor.
Yes, please. Perfect line and length, and again that away shape to the ball, taking it away from Cullinan.
Oh, that's close. Gosh, that's close, isn't it? Well.
Perfect shape. Cullinan half forward, or on the way forward.
Very good appeal against Daryl Cullinan here. Now, does it hit him between wicket and wicket? I'd say it does.
Very good shout. The question is it, has it just straightened, or is it continuing its movement away from the right-hander? I think it's just straightened. Very good shout.
I think that was out.
I think about 5,000 spectators today thought so too. Mark, I suppose the umpire only gets a quick look at it. He can't be sure, maybe just outside the off stump. We always say that.
Good stop. Mark Butcher, the man at square cover, was pretty well hit by Stratham.
It's a good shot. Mullally can be happy with Butcher. Saved a certain boundary.
Oh, he's pulled that away through mid-wicket. It'll be 4 runs as well. Well in front of square. Certainly didn't bother about the pace there.
Well, this is one of his strengths. As I predicted, anything slightly short or wide, he just murders. It's a punch rather than a flowing stroke. Holds his bat very low down on the grip and just punches it away. So anything square of the wicket, he's lethal.
Oh, and he's hit that one straight. Don't know if it'll go all the way. Oh, yes, it does. 4 more. 2 in a row. Just nestles against the rope. Brings the 100 up. Ooh, that's well bowled. Last ball of the over. And a good one. 102 for 4. Oh, that's gone in the air. The appeal and out. Caught by Alex Stewart. The first ball after drinks. And Peter Stratum's debut test innings ends in disappointment. And South Africa lose their 5th wicket. It's 102 for 5.
Well, I had my doubts as to whether this hit the bat. He almost immediately indicated hit him on the arm, but he has to go. His score is 30, and South Africans are 102 for 5.
Carved away and a dive at backward point by Hussain, but it's going to the boundary for 4.
Mark Butcher has frustration as he lands there because that ball went like a rocket. Look at that, a little bit of a toe end and in the air as well, but it went so fast he couldn't get his hand to it.
Oh, he's dropped him. Maddie has dropped Darrell Cullinan at a short mid-wicket position, and that's a big blow for England and a great life for South Africa and for Darrell Cullinan in particular. So a difficult chance. Silverwood over the head it goes, not convincingly, mind you, and they'll take a second here, but that was not well struck by Lance Klusener. This is lashed through the covers. That's a magnificent shot from Darrell Cullinan.
Well, probably the shot of the day. If it had moved off the seam and he'd missed it, everyone would have said an extravagant shot, flamboyant, too risky. But that was on the up, it was wide, and he hit it superbly.
This is swung away, and it's high and handsome over Gough's head down at long leg. It's 6.
126 for 5.
That was a magnificent shot by Lance Klusener. Bad ball, short and down the leg side, and he just swung it away. Gough down there, fine leg. It's put away. Back with a square for 4.
Well, Cullinan's getting the bit between his teeth now. That was a lovely shot. Again, just using the pace of the bowler and hitting it behind square on the offside.
This is played nicely down to fine leg. They're going to go back for the second for the throw. Silverwood's got a good arm normally, but that's a very wild throw from him. So 2 runs, 132 for 5. Ooh, and again he's a bit lucky. Once again the bottom edge. No harm done though. 134 for 5. This has gone straight up in the air. Cullinan walks away disgusted. Mullally does it himself, gets underneath it and takes the catch, and Darrell Cullinan is out. And what a pity, he was looking so good. Gone for 46.
Yes, Cullinan, I think you were mentioning it earlier today, Trevor, not the easiest of shots to play on a wicket like this, the pull shot. And this one, the one that did slide across the right-hander, eventually too far outside that off stump to play the pull shot. And Cullinan could only, well, hit it straight up in the air. Couldn't even drag it across to the onside. Very well played, 46. Handled the conditions superbly. But South Africa now teetering. 136 for 6.
Turned away by Pollock down towards the fine leg boundary. Gough chases, but in vain.
Very fine glance here by Sean Pollock.
No ball called and smashed past mid-off for 4.
Well, that certainly livened up the crowd that was gently falling asleep.
Gough hit the stumps and hurt his finger.
Actually amazes me that more bowlers don't wring their hands when they do this sort of thing.
That blow on the stumps has damaged Gough's bowling hand, but he is leaving the field. Might run back on and field that now. This will be 3 to Pollock.
Well, I guess England will be pleased to have picked up 6 wickets, though I reckon they will have hoped to get them for rather fewer runs. 155 for 6 is nothing more than even Steven in conditions that really did suit the bowlers. Good debut there for Peter Stradham. He played naturally for his 30. Cullinan, good as ever. He's had a pretty good tour against England. Klusner, unbeaten on 22, is a threat. And Sean Pollock, too, unbeaten on 9. 2 wickets for Darren Gough and 2 for Andrew Caddick, the best 2 of the English bowlers, but really only Caddick looking anything like his true self, with figures of 12 overs, 5 maidens, 2 for 29. After play, I had a chat with England's coach Duncan Fletcher about that bowling performance.
Well, obviously I'd be quite happy with 6 wickets at the end of today's players, if you asked me this morning, but I still think we bowl a little bit short on a wicket like this, you know, coming